Year three, it's I guess what used to be year 4 or 5, where you need to get a cycle. So this is like his program, and you look at what he did at Nevada: 8 wins, 7 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins, got to 4 bowl games. Like he knows what he's doing.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with me today on this college football preview, where we will preview both the Mountain West Conference and the Pac-12/2, our favorite team leader, Mike King. Mike, how you doing today, man?
I'm excited to learn which schools are in which conferences. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be educational.
And speaking of education, our favorite administrator is here to give us levity, Robert Abney. Robert, what's going on today?
As always, I'm living the dream, sir, and you can't tell the teams without a scorecard. So,
And that is actually true. So, the Odd Coaches Podcast college football preview shows are designed for the casual fan, as Mike King will tell you, to get you excited for this season. We will talk about things strictly for entertainment purposes only. So, in segment 1, we will cover the Mountain West, and yes, get your scorecards out. In segment 2, we will cover the Pac-12, but it's really more than 12, but we'll explain that. And in segment 3, we'll predict bowl eligible teams, conference winners, and potential, I don't think so, college football playoff participants. But first, let's go to the Mountain West Conference. So we've got Air Force. Over under is 6.5. Air Force will look different this season. They returned the lowest production in college football. And yeah, they should beat Army and Navy, as we mentioned in previous episodes, but that's about it for Air Force. So we'll move on. Robert, we're going to joke with you on Boise State. Over under is 9.5. They're the favorites to win the Mountain West this year. FanDuel is very high on them winning 10 games. Any thoughts on Boise State, and can they join the party at the end of the year?
well, they're favorites to win the Mountain West every year and have been since they joined the conference. There are rumors every other year, every third year, that they're going here. And nothing ever comes of it. So, I'm going to go with no. I can say that I think they'll win 10 games, but I don't see them being in the playoff.
All right. Mike, Colorado State, their coach is quite animated, Jay Norvell. He has said some things in the media. Their over-under is 6.5. Now, we don't follow Colorado State on a regular basis, but any thoughts on their coach and some of the things that they have mentioned in the news media?
Oh, I think that they're trending in the right direction. 3-9 first year, 5-7 the next year. Year three, it's a lot of your guys, right? Like especially in this day and age where you have the ability to completely change a program with transfers and things like that. Year three, it's I guess what used to be year 4 or 5, where you need to get a cycle. So this is like his program, and you look at what he did at Nevada: 8 wins, 7 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins, got to 4 bowl games. Like he knows what he's doing. He's had a couple years with this program. They're trending in the right direction. I think this could be the year for that big step.
All right. So Fresno State over under is 7.5. They're the second choice to win the Mountain West. They got an interesting non-conference schedule. Fresno State plays Michigan, they play Washington State, and they play at UCLA. But they're going to win a lot in the Mountain West. So hopefully they can keep it interesting. It's one of the teams I will follow. We're going to move to Hawaii. Can't afford to move to Hawaii, but Hawaii's over under is 4.5. Timmy Chang is there. He's looking to continue to rebuild, but good luck with that. Go ahead, Robert. Okay. We're going to go to Nevada. Over under is 2.5. So the Wolfpack has a head coach, and there's always something kind of going on in Nevada, but they're not going to be very good. I will stop here, though, Robert, at New Mexico. The over-under is 2.5. They're at the bottom of the conference. Can they play spoiler at least? Any thoughts on New Mexico?
So they just hired Bronco Mendenhall, who you guys might recognize because he was the head coach at Virginia for a while. And they hired him because the last time in my lifetime that they were any good for a sustained period of time, Bronco Mendenhall was the defensive coordinator. So, I think they can win 3 games. Their schedule's not very good. They do have a money game, I think, at Texas. It's either Texas A&M or LSU. I can't remember. They have a money game at an SEC school. Winning 3 games is not unreasonable. Winning more than that, maybe not so much. They haven't been able to find anybody to play quarterback in pretty much ever. So.
Mike, I think I will take a note of New Mexico based on that information, strictly for entertainment purposes only. Now, San Diego State makes me mad. My family members have graduated from San Diego State. My favorite aunt moved across the country in the early 80s. They have everything you could want except W's. Over under is 5.5. They got Sean Lewis, who's the former Kent State coach, and I think he just came from Colorado. The pro team left. Man, this is an opportunity, and I just hope they don't blow it. You got to be better for San Diego State. You got an even new stadium over there. I mean, okay. San Jose State, over under is 4.5. San Jose State nearly returned to the Mountain West game. I think it was like 3 teams last year, and there's a coin flip or something ridiculous. And they've got Coach Ken from Navy over there, so we'll peek at him. Coach Ken had a chance to step back last year. I think he was hanging out with UCLA and just kind of got off the triple option system or whatever he's doing. So we'll see what happens with that.
I was just going to ask that question. Is he going to go back to his triple option?
There is no way that he's going to go back and do that stuff there. I forgot. Chip is the head coach at UCLA, right? So he got a chance to hang out with Chip, and I think he's going to go to a traditional system.
Okay.
So let's go with UNLV. I'm always a fan of the Running Rebs. Over and under is 7.5. They have Barry Odom there, but a funny thing happened to Nevada, Las Vegas. Everybody came. You got the Aces there. You got the Raiders are there. You've got the NBA and the play-in NBA Cup tournament. You just have a lot of action there, and I think the A's may be coming soon too. So just as Robert jokes in Texas, certain schools you just can't even get on the blip. UNLV might be in that boat there. Mike, any thoughts on just UNLV finding a niche in all of that going on?
So it's hard for the college team when there's a lot of professional sports. I see that with here with Maryland. There's so many teams. The colleges get kind of lost. It happens in New York. Professional sports is the game, so it's hard for the college team to kind of get their footing. But I'll say Vegas provides a different opportunity in that there's just a different level of excitement about the sports teams when now you could gamble on all of it. So it's good. I think there's definitely a chance that if you put the right pieces there, that could become like a real program because of Vegas. Vegas is just different.
I like that. Utah State, over under 5.5. Blake Anderson has won 6 games the past 2 seasons. It's pretty much a coin flip if he will get to 6 wins this year. Robert, do you have any familiarity with Utah State at all?
Other than the fact that my wife is a Utah State alum, no.
Will she even pay attention to Utah State football?
If they happen to be on TV, yes.
So happy. Finally, Wyoming. Over under 6.5. Wyoming has won 7 or more games in 6 of the last 8 seasons. Wyoming always like wins one game that they're like really not supposed to win. So I think they can be a spoiler or two some random November Saturday. But that's about it. So fans, in segment 2, we will try to get you through the Pac-12 season and the things going on with that. We'll be right back on the iCoaches podcast.
The CKA SAVE Project is an industry leader in advocating for student-athlete, academic, and athletic needs. Through academic and athletic enrichment, the CKA SAVE Project is on the forefront of the issues facing 21st century student-athletes. As student-athletes continue to struggle to find a better balance between academic and athletic success, the CKA SAVE Project offers academic and athletic services to support student-athlete academic success, including academic skills assessment, academic and athletic consulting, academic monitoring, academic and athletic workshops. For more information or to schedule a free consultation, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the iCoaches podcast in segment 2. We got Pac-12 season predictions and regular season win totals, and also we will explain a lot of things that are going on for the casual viewer. Let's start with Oregon State, the Beavs. Over and under 7.5. Oregon State's not a bad school. They're not a bad team. They've won some games the last couple of years, but with this changeover, it really hurt whatever momentum they were building. So they should hang around this 7.5 win total, but it's going to be a challenge for them. Mike, you're a Maryland alum, a Maryland fan. What do you think, using your Maryland knowledge, about the challenges Oregon State's going to have moving forward? Because it's just them and Washington State, which we'll get to in a moment. Any thoughts on just, we tried, we've been doing better, and because of things beyond our control, we're like irrelevant right now?
Yeah, I mean, Maryland got the lottery ticket to get into the Big Ten because the Big Ten wanted to expand the footprint in the media market, get the New York, New Jersey with Rutgers, get the DC, Baltimore with Maryland. So they got this gift. Otherwise, they'd be in the same kind of what's going to happen to us. Oregon State, they messed up the coaching hire after Mike Riley, who was kind of had them always relevant. Then they've given their newest coach, who's been there 6 years. They've given him kind of some leeway because it started off rough, but yeah, they've won games. And the thing that you kind of see in sports when you're not in one of the big conferences is you could win a lot against these bad teams that aren't in these conferences either, and that can take you pretty far. They still got to fill up these bowl games. We get to bowl game year, and there's still a lot of stupid bowl games. There's a lot of teams, so you can do pretty well not being invited to the dance, because just make your schedule correctly and you could be an 8-9 win team every single year, put something good for your fans to watch, and make your schedule. Gives you a lot of flexibility, I think. So teams like Oregon State, who have had some success but they're not invited, I look at it as an opportunity. But again, it depends how you sell it.
All right, so Robert, Washington State 7.5. The Cougars also have a large storied history. They also are in the same situation Oregon State's in. What are you thinking if you're Washington State, Robert? I mean, it's not their fault, but so what? No one cares.
It's not their fault, but I mean, it's a little different, I think, recruiting to Corvallis, which is not that far from Portland, than it is to Pullman, Washington, the Palouse, which is, I've never been out there, but apparently it's in the middle of nowhere. In recruiting out there is going to be, I mean, it's always a problem for them. They've always managed to, they managed to have good years. Most years they're decent. But losing their starting quarterback, losing their conference affiliation, that 7.5, that feels high for me, even though both of these schools are going to be playing basically a Mountain West schedule. That feels high for me for Washington State.
Yeah, and the thing that pauses me on Washington State is that, and we talked about it last year, they built this like new stadium. They really put a lot of into this new stadium, and nobody's coming. So, Mike, this is your opportunity. Give me your thoughts on the Pac-2 moving forward. Any advice you would give them, as in segment 3, we will try to navigate the bowl situation and all, but man, everybody knows that it's just you two. What are you thinking, man?
Try and find another group to join, or have the ability to make any schedule you want, do whatever you want, and kind of be that. Again, you could you go so many directions. You could just take the payday and take a bunch of losses to fill up a schedule for the teams in the 2 conferences that still matter, or try and get in a conference and hold on and pretend until hopefully the NCAA tries to fix it, which they won't be able to. So you really that's kind of it.
All right,
That's
Robert, you're our administrator. What advice are you giving the Pac-2?
They're really in trouble. I mean, because they got left out of all of these, all of this conference stuff. They got left holding the bag, and I'm not sure. I mean, we'll never know exactly what the play was in terms of how they got left out. Doesn't change the fact that they got left out. And I've seen all kinds of stuff about the Mountain West breaking up and taking some of the Mountain West schools and going with them and recreating the Pac-8, Pac-10. And I just, who knows? Who knows what we'll see in 3 years, just because of all of the stuff that's going down with the SEC and the Big 12 dictating to basically everybody else, this is how things are going to run. I don't see that those 2 schools, if there's like a Premier League power 32, 48, whatever it is, I don't see those 2 schools being in the mix. I think that they missed that boat, and they're going to be kind of on the next level, whatever that next level looks like.
All right. Well, we're going to try to make some sense out of this in segment 3 as we talk about bowl affiliations, tie-ins, etc. Be right back on the iCoaches podcast.
The reviews are in for Dr. Keith Adams' book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. College professor and student athlete academic expert Dr. Lisa Rubin said, "There is nothing out there like this book, so I do hope people will pay attention and give it a read." Former George Mason standout Folarin Campbell said, "Consider this book an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Adams, just like I did. I assure you that there will be something you can take away that will be useful to you throughout your personal journey." Ryan Waite, a recent college graduate who is a software engineer, said, "I like how the book is based on research, which makes it good for general students as well as student athletes." The book serves as both a memoir to Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes over 15 personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues from a variety of sports and endeavors. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Yacht Coaches podcast. And in segment 3, we're going to talk about bowl tie-in. And in every episode, we're going to try to make the casual fan care about bowls. We're going to start off with the Mountain West. The top-ranked Mountain West champion will be in the mix for the Fiesta, Cotton, or Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl if it's the highest-ranked Group of 5 champ and not in the college, and if it's not in the college playoffs. Okay. Mountain West doesn't have a set bowl order or set bowl slots, but here are the bowls that they get to participate in. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl, the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, the New Mexico Bowl, the Barstool Arizona Bowl. I think that's Snoop's Bowl. Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. The Mountain West has the affiliation to fill in if needed, the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. And these are the bowls determined among the group of 5 conferences: the Duluth Trading Company Cure Bowl, the Frisco Bowl, the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl, and the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl. So now let's talk about bowl eligible teams for the Mountain West. Air Force, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, UNLV, Utah State, and Wyoming. Mike, did I make you care about any of these bowls with the Mountain West team?
No. I mean, none of the bowls matter to the team, like the couple fans. That's it. Expanding the playoffs, the best thing they could do, because it just makes a couple more games that actually matter. The Jimmy Kimmel Bowl, what are we doing? What are we doing?
All right, Robert, I'm going to waste my bowl energy on you with the Pac-2. Okay. So the 10 schools leaving the Pac-12 will still be a part of the Pac-12 affiliated bowls over the next 2 seasons and not in bowl tie-ins with their new conferences. So the Big 12 Commissioner, Brett Yormark, let folks know that. The former Pac-12 schools will not play in bowls with their new conferences for multiple reasons. But again, they still have a place to go. The contracts between the conferences and the bowls don't end until after the 2025 season. And with Oregon State and Washington State remaining in the Pac-12 in 2024, the 6 bowls with Pac-12 ties could not be filled without drawing from other conferences. Because of the mass exodus of Pac-12 schools, all stakeholders involved determined, I love that they said stakeholders, Mike, that the former Pac-12 programs, known as the Pac-12 legacy schools, plus Oregon State and Washington State, would remain with the Pac-12 bowls until the new bowl contracts begin in 2026. So now, Robert, the Pac-12 champ is usually off to the Rose Bowl if it's not selected in the college football playoffs. But again, that bowl tie-in is off this year with the Rose being a CFP semifinal game. So the Pac-12 gets a team in one of the New Year's 6 bowls no matter what. So they don't have a set order. So you got the college football playoff if they're selected. You've got the LA Bowl, the Radiance Technology Independence Bowl, the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl, the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl, the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, and the Valero Alamo Bowl. And then from the ESPN owned and operated bowl games, the Pac-12 will be able to fill in one of these 3 slots. The Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl, and the Union Home Mortgage, and I always mispronounce it, so help me out if you care, the Gasparilla Bowl or something of that nature. So Oregon State and Washington State should reach the bowl threshold. We'll talk about the other schools during the Big 12, Big 10, and ACC preview shows. So, Robert, tell me your thoughts on the Pac-2-12 or the Pac-12-2 in terms of bowls. Have I now made you care?
No. I mean, and what happens during bowl season? You turn on the TV, there's a bowl game. Great. Will I watch it? Sure. If I turn on the TV and it's on, is any of this appointment viewing? Afraid not, man.
I tried, Mike. I really did. All right, let's go to conference winners. Mountain West got Boise State winning. In the Pac-2, Oregon State and Washington State should both be bowl eligible, so good luck to them. In terms of the CFP, Boise State will be hanging around, and I think their schedule is just weak enough that going into November and December, they may have some conversations, but there'll be other teams that, pass them by for that group of 5 spot. Mike, does Boise State have a shot to make the big money?
There's enough. There's a couple, probably not. It's going to go to who we know it's going to go to. No. I was about to try and make an argument. I was like, you know what? You can tell me the next 10 years, the answer is probably no. So we'll go no.
Yeah, the 4th best team in the SEC will get in before Boise State.
Yeah, it's not.
No, but again, if Boise State's the best group of 5 school, then they're in. Will they be the best group of 5 school, Robert?
No.
No.
I think we've got, we've got other schools. We've talked about Memphis. We've talked about some other schools that I think are going to be in a better position than they are.
All right. So with that, fans, on behalf of our cavalcade of stars, one day we're going to get Robert to care about bowls, but probably not. I am Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, and we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach FRANCHIZE. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.